What's up, everybody? King of Fomo here, coming at you with your daily crypto update. So in this video, we're going to be talking about Dogechain and all the projects that I have found on it so far. Not a whole lot to talk about in the world of crypto today, other than the fact that crypto's down yet again by multiple percentage points. In other news, Debtbox is doing phenomenal, especially in this bearish kind of couple days. We've had some bullish moments in the debt box for the tokens there. We'll talk about that in another video. In this video, we're going to focus on the Doge chain and the coins on here. So full disclosure here, guys, do be extra careful with the Doge chain. I know that some of you guys might be hyper excited about a new chain that's out. Doge is super popular, so it must move. Well, that's not necessarily the case. This chain does still have to prove itself in some form or fashion. So a lot of the coins that you're going to see on there are either just complete total garbage coins that people just created with a coin creator and put a name behind it and maybe made a website and are telling people to buy it, or they are just 100% carbon copies of other contracts on other chains, just copied and pasted over here on the Doge chain. And that means that there's probably not going to be any development. Again, might be a scam tactic for you to buy the token and then for them to just drop everything. So a lot of tokens are probably like that, since there are already so many on here. I mean, I guarantee you most of these are completely worthless. But we'll talk about some of the projects that I found that were interesting. Maybe they'll do something, but I mean, I don't have my hopes up. I'm not really, dumping my bank into any of these at all. So first we'll talk about D3D. So you guys might remember P3D from back in the 2017-2018 era of crypto. This is essentially a smart contract that mints tokens, and when people buy those tokens, you get dividends from people buying and selling those tokens. There's a 10% fee on buying, as you can see right here, or staking, and selling or unstaking. So that 10% fee on both of those sides goes to the people who are still holding the token. And there's other things included in here too, like referral rewards. Also, if you haven't played a P3D contract in the past, if you haven't messed with one in the past, do be extra careful. These things can be gamed very, very badly. So if people front load by buying tons of the token in the beginning, they can dump on you pretty hard. It's not a normal token that just goes up in value normally, but generally the people who buy first have a gigantic advantage compared to the people who buy later. So again, there's a lot of other reasons why I'm not going ham into D3D, but it is a project that is existing out there for you guys who want to check it out. I'll leave the links for all this stuff in my Patreon channel for those of you who are interested in that. And maybe we'll talk more about D3D once it does launch. There's actually a guy in the Discord, Mr. F, who was around during the P3D days, and he did a lot of audits for different contracts, smart contracts. These are basically the same smart contracts, copied and pasted over and over again. And a couple of guys in another Discord would check these contracts to make sure that they didn't have any scam codes in it, because that was a common occurrence where they'd steal all the money, because a lot of money would go into here and they'd steal all of it. So I'm looking forward to seeing if Mr. F can do an audit for this. It'll be nice. But again, I'm not expecting this to even go extremely high, because the Doge chain is so new and people probably don't even know P3D contracts or trust them at this point. So that's just something to keep in mind before you jump into here. But it is something that I do like. I do like these types of contracts, so check it out if you guys get the chance. Next is Doge Rock. So there's a lot of projects like this again, low effort copy and pastes. This is pretty much just the rock contract, Ether rocks, with the Doge dog on it. So, I mean, it doesn't seem like people are taking the Doge chain super seriously, but I mean, that's kind of the whole point of Doge itself, in a sense. So that's what it is. It's the rock. Own a rock on the Doge chain, the very first NFT on the Doge chain. Well, it's not the first. There's other ones that we're going to talk about in this video, but you guys can see the price here. Again, I'm not really going to get into this because it's stuff like this that it really doesn't matter at all, especially if the chain doesn't take off, like the Binance Smart Chain, or even some of the other ones that we've seen, Avalanche or Polygon. So that is Doge Rock, something that you guys can check out as well. Yode Swap, we talked about this before. This is one of the only contracts out there that you might want to mess with first because it has farms. So you can do some stablecoin farming. You can farm ETH USDC on here and get some rewards from doing that. You can see that there's already $4 million in here. Now the downside is it doesn't look like Yode Swap is growing compared to the other decentralized exchanges like Doge Swap and a few others out there, so it might just end up fizzling out and dying, and that's particularly bad for the Yode token. So if you own the Yode token, that's what's being printed. That's how you're getting the earnings from doing excuse me, stablecoin staking. So that token is probably going to decrease significantly in value if it doesn't pick up the pace a little bit here. Next is Doge C. So Doge C, this is the open sea of the Doge chain. Now, again, be extra careful here because there's basically nothing but a page here and a minting button. So you can go ahead and click that minting button and mint your Doge if you want to mint your Doge, your C Doge, whatever this thing's called, for only 99 Doge. But if you look at the rest of the website, there's nothing here. So there's nothing on Explore. There's nothing on List. So are these guys actually going to be able to create the first marketplace and launchpad on the Doge chain? I don't know. I mean, it's literally just a website page. Probably was created in a few minutes. And these contracts, again, they're extremely easy to copy and paste. So, the overall effort in Doge C is probably literally, I'd say maybe 20 to 30 minutes of effort making this website. It doesn't mean that they're not legit. It doesn't mean they're not going to be making a marketplace. It's just something to keep in mind. You can follow their Discord and stuff for more information. And also be careful when you're minting things, guys, because, I mean, you can lose everything from that. If they have malicious code in the minting, I mean, and that's just going to be the case with this newer chain. People are going to try and siphon off funds. This is the next one we can talk about right here. This is the Doge Market.dog or the Dogechain Punks. So this is the first sort of functional marketplace on the Doge chain. So you can actually buy these Dogechain Punks. Again, all of this is really just a copy and paste of the CryptoPunks on the Doge chain. And I think they started at a mint price of 20 Doge, as we can see somewhere on here, right here. So this guy spent 20 Dogecoin to mint the NFT. It went up to like maybe 300, and then it traced back to where it is right now, about 75. So who knows? If the Doge chain does take off, maybe people will love Doge chain punks. I don't know. A lot of times with these like carbon copy clones, they just end up being not nearly as impressive as the original, CryptoPunks on Ethereum. And then lastly, we can talk about this project. So this is the coin that most people are gravitating towards on the Doge chain. I don't know how to look at this. Let's see if we look at just total liquidity. Let me see if I can arrange this correctly. It's one of the top coins for total liquidity. WDoge Omnom. And I think it's the only supported coin on the Doge chain right now. It's like sort of guaranteed not to be a rug. So what this is, you guys can read the website right here. Doge Omnom is fighting back. The first meme token to take on the Doge chain to eat SHIB. So they're competing with Shiba Inu on the Doge chain or something like that, I guess. They sent 69% of the supply to Vitalik. 31% has been added to the pool on Dogeswap.org. But like I said, it is sort of just a joke. But we know that sometimes jokes can moon to the oblivion for those of you who are interested in that kind of stuff. But again, as for me, I am not going deep into any of the stuff that I've mentioned. These are just the most prevalent projects that I found on the Doge chain in the merely 4 or 5 days since this chain has launched. Hopefully more interesting stuff will come out in the future, and things will be developed starting on the Doge chain as opposed to what we're seeing right now. Obviously, you can't really avoid it for a chain that's so new, with all of the contracts and all of the coins essentially just being copied and pasted from other chains. That is everything for today, guys. Like, comment, subscribe. Again, all these links will be on Patreon, free for you guys to look at on Patreon. But if you guys want to actually become a patron, you can do that and get access to my videos at least a day, 2 to 3 days earlier than everyone else. If you're watching this on YouTube, you're watching it later than the people on Patreon who have already had a chance to view it. All right, guys, I'll catch you in the next video. Like, comment, subscribe. Peace out.